We are live on both. Yes, we are live. Okay, just give it a few minutes for people just to jump on. We are live here in our academy in San Diego, California. We came up with an idea over the weekend to say thank you for the year, for supporting us here at Edge. It's been a crazy year for everybody, and we decided to do 3 days and 3 haircuts. Okay, so we're doing a haircut today, and then we'll be on again tomorrow and Wednesday. All right, so 3 days, 3 haircuts for absolutely free. Just to say thanks for the support. We love you all. Thanks for following us, and it's just nice to see some cheeky little haircuts. All right, so we're on 2 devices. So some of you might be watching through Instagram on our page Edge the Academy. And then some of you might be watching through our Facebook page, Edge. Okay, so we'll post it as well after we've done the live. So if there's any points that you want to see afterwards, you can have a look over the haircut. All right, so we thought we'll do a longer shape first. So I'm going to do more of a dry haircut. All right, we just got requested over the weekend. I was reaching out to a few hairdressers saying, hey, what do you want to see? You know, we want to do 3 haircuts. What do you want to see? And a lot of people are like, I want to see a long haircut. And then what we'll do, we'll eventually cut this into shorter. So first haircut today will be long. Tomorrow we'll go more of a mid-length. And then we'll probably take it a little bit shorter. So you've got like 3 different variations of different lengths. Okay? So what we got requested a lot of is, we're in California. A lot of our friends do a lot of colour. Balayage, ombres, colour placements, things like that. A lot of blonde here in California. You know, we have a lot of friends who are blonde specialists, and with their clientele, they come in and they have the full colour, but they might not have a full haircut. They might have a haircut where, you know, it's like maybe, I call it like tickling the ends or tidying it up, or maybe just introducing maybe a little seamless layer. And a lot of people get like, you know, in the comfort zone of doing the same haircut on everybody. So if you've got a long-haired client in the chair, you're really focused on colour, and now that's come off there. And so we're literally focusing on colour. So then all of a sudden, you can do a little haircut. Okay. So we just lost connection on Instagram, so for the guys on Facebook, you can carry on watching. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to work on a longer shape. Okay, we're going to maintain maximum length. We're going to create a little bit of shape through the front area, and then we're going to introduce some layering all the way through. Okay, so I'm going to take you through it step by step. It's a really simple haircut to do. Okay, yeah, I'll show you the haircut, guys, so you can get an idea of what we're going to do. So this is the haircut, what we're going to be working on. Okay, so as you can see there, working on maintaining maximum length, creating a nice little bit of shape, and then for the guys here on Instagram, there you go, guys, that's the haircut we're going to be literally working from. All right, so maintaining length, introducing a bit more of a seamless layer. Okay, so that's the haircut today. If you're a hairdresser and you like to, you know, do wet haircuts, and you felt like, oh, it feels weird cutting this dry, then, you know, literally after your colour placement, so say like you've literally coloured your client's hair, you've done an ombre, a balayage, things like that, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, you've done the treatments, and then you bring it back over to the section, then you can literally just cut it wet, all right? If you prefer to dry and blow dry it all nice and smooth, then you could do that, and then you could literally then focus on doing the actual haircut dry. All right. I just wanted to do a little dry haircut today for a change. You know, some of you have followed us through our haircutting demonstrations. We're always trying to do something slightly different. Okay, so we're just literally isolating everything out of the way. So just keeping it as clean as you can. So we're just going to literally clip out the sides. The internet's dropping. Oh, there we go. Back in again. Okay. Right. So what we've done there is literally working a centre parting, and then I'm just going to subdivide it into like a radial from the crown to ear, and then we're going to literally work in the layering pattern first. So just long layers. So if you've got a client who wants to maintain length, she doesn't want a lot of hair off, she just wants to introduce something like a long layer, then we can introduce this kind of technique. Really, really simple. Okay, so we're just going to literally bring it out from the head at 90. Okay, so head out from the head at 90. Wow, what a day, everything's going on. We've got the fire brigade, the police outside, the ambulance now, the internet's going on and off. Okay.
Just gotta roll with punches.
Okay, so literally working everything out on the base. Alright, so everything's out on the base at 90. And what we're working from is working from longer to shorter. So we're cutting this on an angle. We're not cutting it square, and we're not cutting it square this way. So it's not coming to the ceiling and it's not going to the wall. Okay, so we're literally working from shorter to longer. So we want a seamless layer. What that means is we won't want to see a shelf or a corner. Yeah, if we start to put in like a square shape, what's going to happen, you're going to create build-up of weight. And then what the weight's going to do, it's going to sit really heavy, and you're going to start to have, you know, like 2 layers. Alright, so it's working from shorter to longer. We're rotating, okay, so what that means is we're pivoting from the crown. So my elevation is 90 from the head. The distribution, the way I'm combing the hair, is also 90 from the head. And then literally then bringing everything from longer to shorter. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Okay, and then we'll just literally comb that down. And you can see straight away we're maintaining maximum length. So this is perfect and designed for somebody with long hair who just loves their long hair. Some of you who are watching might be a colour specialist, and you might be like, oh, I don't really do a lot of hair cutting. You know, if I do any hair cutting, it's mainly trims. I don't really focus on hair cutting. This is a really good go-to haircut for anybody out there who does long hair. So your first section is pivoting from the crown, or rotating from the crown. We're working from longer in the perimeter to shorter at the crown, and then literally we're just rotating round. Okay, we're just literally rotating round, following the head shape. So all the hair is longer on the base, and it's the shortest point of the whole haircut, yeah, is at the crown. Okay, and how short you go at that crown is on it, again, it comes down to your consultation from your client. So if the client wants really short layers, she wants volume, she wants height, she wants a lot of texture, then you go a lot shorter within the crown section. This case we're not going too short. Alright, we don't want to go mega short here. Alright, it's a long layer. Alright, so something nice and fresh for those kind of clients who love long hair. Alright, so let's change our body position. I'm going to stand on the opposite side now. I'm going to comb the hair straight out from the head at 90, and then I'm literally working from that longest point to the shortest point. Point cutting through. Okay, so it's all literally working from the crown. So distribution, elevation is 90 from the head, straight out, 90 from the head. Okay, and then maintaining that maximum length. And you're working, you're like scooping it out in a way. Scooping that out, point coming through. Okay. And then the next section, so it's like little pie-shaped sections, or pivoting, or pizza sections. Everyone's been told different things at different colleges or different education. Pardon?
Beach ball.
Beach ball. Everyone has different ways of...
Is this the haircut you gave me the other day? Everyone noticed.
Yeah. Okay, so just very simple. Shorter to longer. And then stepping round. A lot of people waving and watching. Hi guys, thanks for supporting us over this year. What a bloody year it's been. But you know, it's coming into the holiday season now. So we're excited. Holiday time. You know, we have a lot of followers in Europe and all over America. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching us over the last 12 months, doing some of these lives. Okay, and then you just literally just check your balance, making sure that you're happy with everything. Okay, so what you've done there, guys, you've just literally worked from shorter to longer. Alright, so it's shorter internally, so if I pick that out, you can see it's shorter internally, and then going the longer to on the outer edges. Alright, nothing too crazy. Okay, just tickle in the ends. Alright, so that whole back area is done now. So now we're going to go into the front. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we want to maintain longer length. A lot of people don't want it too short through the front. So what we're going to do here now, I'm going to work on a diagonal all through the front, so the diagonal sections through the front, and we're going to over-direct. So we're going to be travelling now back to behind the ear. Okay, so we're going to travel. So everything is over-directed back. Okay, and we're going to be maintaining that length. And we're going to be working from shorter to longer. We're going to be over-directed. Alright, so what's going to happen is diagonals, and we're going to be over-directing all that back to that stationary guideline. And what stationary means, not moving. Okay, so it's all coming back to that guideline. Alright, so you plant your feet and you pull the hair back towards your body.
And you're dry cutting.
You dry cutting, yeah. Just for a change, again, it's personal choice. We just had quite a few requests that, can we just do a little dry cut today? So I was like, okay. So I'm just thought we'll do a little dry cut for a change. We're using the large scissors from Edge, the 7 inches. I prefer to use the 7s when I'm doing dry cutting or customising, but that again is personal preference. Alright, so we just thought we'd do a little cheeky dry cut. So if you're in the salon and you were doing this, then you would obviously do your colour. Rinse all your colour off, do your toner, do everything like that. Bring them over to the base, to the section. You put your styling product in of choice. If you're using something smoothing or straightening. And then you'll blow dry, get it all nice and smooth. If you're using oil or something in there, serum. And then once it's all got through, then you want to make sure this comb glides through. Much worse than it's going to be tuggy when you're doing dry cutting. So it's like prepping the hair first. Once all that's prepped, then you can literally then go in and just tidy up by doing a little dry cut haircut. Okay, so we're just over directing. So when you're dry cutting, you can always personalise at the same time as well. So what I'm trying to say is like you put the shape in here now. So we're literally working from shorter to longer. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back through. And you can detail and personalise the shape. So look, there's a great example. Look, both sides are done. One side's done. Yeah, just put a little layer in there. So look, I'll just move it around there so the Instagram guys. This has not been layered yet. But if you look, lengthwise, it's the same. So the client is not going to freak out. If the client says, you've cut my length off. You're like, no, I haven't. It's the same. Okay? So you're using, your best friend for this haircut is your outline. Your length is your friend. So don't cut anything off the length, you know, we don't want to do that today. So the overall feeling was to maintain maximum length. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back into this side, we're going to go all the way through this side, and we're going to go back in and customise. I'm just going to customise it a little bit. Because it's dry, I don't have to then go in and, on a wet haircut, normally, would have to then do this later. So I'll go back in, and then I'll just do a little bit of deep point cutting.
Do you find yourself doing a lot of dry cuts?
I find myself doing a lot of dry cuts. When we do photo shoots and stuff, you know.
I actually do a lot of dry cuts.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I think like, you know, like the team here in the salon, they do a lot of dry cutting. I've noticed that because, you know, there's a couple of girls who are colour specialists and their focus is like, you know, a colour service, and then they might just tidy up the actual haircut. You know, we've been to a few salons and done a lot of education here in San Diego and different salons around California, and they may focus on colour more than cutting, and they've said to me, look, can you come in and teach us some haircuts, but teach us haircuts which we can use behind the chair. We don't do a lot of short hair, so can you come up with 3 long haircuts? So like this is one of the haircuts that I've been teaching around the salons in California. And we talk about like we do this dry. If I was going to do this on wet hair, I could even change my tool, get rid of the scissor and use a razor. Okay, you could razor cut this. I won't razor cut it on dry hair, it's pretty painful. They didn't like the client maybe. But what I'm trying to say is the whole effect here is brought out straight from the head at 90. And if you like drawing a head sheet now, if you're drawing a head sheet now, this is 90 and it's going from shorter to longer. This is 90 and then it's going from shorter to longer. So that's what you're looking for on the outer, on the shape. So if I pull all this out, eventually it's going to be like this, going from shorter down to longer. So there's not going to be a corner here and there's not going to be a corner here because it's following the head shape. Okay, going from short to long. Okay, so that's what we're doing. And then I just actually went through and just did a little bit of customization, move it around, and I think what you see on the camera and what I see is always going to be different, and that's what I love about hairdressing, because that's why your clients go to you than somebody else in the salon. So I move that around now, and I can start to see like there's no shelf in there. That's what I don't want. But that's all been cut. But there's no like, there's your layer, there's your length, there's a Christmas tree haircut, there's a mushroom. It's all nice and soft, okay? We don't want to see any weight line. If you've created a weight line within the shape, your elevation is not 90. Simple as that. Your elevation could be too low, or it could be too high. Because if it's too high, you're going to create a corner here. If it's too low, you're going to create a corner here. So you've got to make sure you are 90 and 90, okay? And then to maintain more length through the front area, where everyone's hair is always weaker through that front area, especially when you're working on maybe blondes. We have a lot of people who say, look, I do a lot of blonde hair, and sometimes it gets a little bit weaker through there, it's a little bit delicate with the colour. So then we over-direct, and we keep it heavier and stronger within that front panel.
Like women who are over, 35
Certain age.
and up,
Yeah, a mature client.
like me.
Alright,
It's real talk.
real talk.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's one side completed. So just to give you a little cheeky recap quickly, it's just literally working a centre section through the middle, 90, going from the crown, and we're working down to the length, so we're using the perimeter as a guideline, so your outer edge going from longer to shorter, and then we rotated, so we pivoted through the crown, and then when we got in front of the ear, we just literally worked diagonal forwards and pulled everything back to behind the ear. Now we do the opposite side. Alright, we've done the back, so we've rotated through the back here, so now we're just going to go diagonal forwards, and we're going to pull everything back to behind the ear. Okay, so diagonal, come back. Just look, so you're over-directing back, so you can see that where I'm over-directing back to. And then you'll see a guideline nice and clear. You can see, there's your outer edge, that's your perimeter, and you go from shorter to longer. Okay.
This looks like a client that only gets their haircut once a year.
Once a year, yeah. No disrespect to hairdressers out there or like haircutters like me. I love clients who come every 6 weeks, every 4 weeks. It makes you need less clients when you have shorter hair clients. You have a strong male clientele, then you'll need less clients because males might come every month for a haircut. If you have a lot of ladies with short hair, like pixies and bobs, then they're going to be maintaining them. But if you've got a lot of long hair clients like this, where do you get most money from them? Colour, treatments, yeah, and then maybe a once a year haircut, like Gloria said. There is clients out there who will have a haircut once a year. Okay, and I know it's down to us to advise them, but they still say, I just want a little tickle, I just want a dust, I don't want too much off, don't go crazy. Alright, so what we're doing now is literally over-directing, maintaining that maximum length at the bottom. Yeah, working from longer to shorter. Nice and choppy all the way through. Come back into the centre if you wanted to. And then just make sure that you're over-directing. You see both angles really. We're on 2 devices, so I'm going to make sure, see what we're doing today. the trick is to check your balance. You just check your balance, and the only person who sees your balance when you do it this way, you pull it out and pull it back to you. The only person who sees it is you. And if there's a mistake, or one size shorter, one size longer, because when you're over-directing, yeah, one side could be over-directed more than the opposite side. So making sure you feel like, okay, I'm over-directing both sides, but you might be slightly off balance. So there's nothing much worse than picking it straight up off the client's head. She's looking in a mirror and it's like this. Yeah, because the client, I notice it's one side shorter than the other. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you put it back first, make sure that you understand the actual layering pattern and the shape. And then once you're happy with that, and you feel confident, you just grab all the hair, yeah, and then you pick it up to you, and you'll be able to see and you check your balance that way, okay? These are really good confidence builders. It's reassurance for your client, and it's reassurance for you as a hairdresser. I've had so many clients over my 30 years of hairdressing saying, well, I love coming to you, and I'm like, why do you love me cutting your hair? Because you check my balance, you check the length. No one does this. Most people do this, yeah, and do this. But like you pick it up and you check it and you make sure it's absolutely perfect. Little things like that just make people come back to you. It's a confidence builder. Alright, so then look, if I comb all that down, here you go, you can start to see it's really pretty, it's really long. And then what we're going to do now, we're just going to go back in and detail this side. So you go back in. But okay, customizing is what you see and what I see are always going to be different. Alright, so don't get carried away with customizing. So always find out what your client's needs are. So for me, when I do a consultation, I always ask 3 questions. What do you love about your hair? What do you hate about your hair? And what product are you using on your hair? Those are the kind of, always the same questions I ask when I do a consultation. So in this case, they're like, what do you love about your hair? And she goes, I love my hair long. I don't want to have short hair. I hate short hair. So I want to maintain it long as possible. Okay, do you want short layers? No, I hate short layers. I don't know what to do. I hate volume. I just want to have something nice shape. That's it. I don't really want a haircut. Okay, and then this is where you come to this kind of idea. Yeah, low maintenance, really easy to manage. Yeah, just doing some deep point cutting here. If you're wondering what I'm doing, just breaking it up a little bit, just on the ends. This would be like breaking up the colour a little bit, blending in those colours. And then just moving that around, and you can start to see there's no shelf, there's no weight line whatsoever. This would be beautiful to start to see like the ombre or the balayage, yeah, things like that we would see all the way through. Alright. So there you go, you've got like both sides now layered. All the back's layered, really commercial, really salon friendly. Okay, so literally we've gone from the head 90. Yeah, short to long, and then rotating round, so you've got short to long, like so, and then we've just over-directed behind the ear to go short to long. Some of you who've been trained by different companies, you would have called this a transient haircut. Some of you might have called this a triangle layer. Okay, so everybody has different terminology from different companies. I just call it like a little seamless layer today, so it's very seamless, and what that means is you can't see the layer starting or finishing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just tidy up the perimeter. So we'll just turn your model around, plan it around, so you can start to see that back area as well. Beautiful. Okay, you can start to see the overall shape. All right, and then we'll just literally dust over the perimeter. So let's get on the knees first. Okay, and then got rough camera angles. Client says I don't want to cut too much off the perimeter. Reminds me of me cutting Gloria's hair last week. Don't cut my length. Okay, so again, do you want it rounded? Do you want it square? Do you want it going into a V? That's personal choice on your client. Usually you just want to dust here, just dusting. If you're if you are a hairdresser who focuses on colour, you're so used to maybe dusting the perimeter like this already. Right, so you just literally going through the client and you can dust that off. If the client changes her mind and she says, look, I want to go even shorter, you can take that even shorter. Why is it here? Because my belly head wouldn't go understand. I've changed the heads for some reason, but they are smaller. Okay, working all the way around. And that is the outline done, alright? So then you've got to decide, does the client want a fringe? Does she want any shape through the front? Okay, so does the client want anything going on through there? Okay, so you go back to the front. You've got a beautiful kind of shape now. So maintaining maximum length. Introduce a nice little layer all the way through. And then all of a sudden she says, look, I want to have a little bit of shape through the front, but I like to tie it up in a ponytail. I do yoga, I go to the gym, I have an active lifestyle, yeah. I like to wear my hair up. I hate it when there's all bits falling down. If she doesn't mind having one or two bits falling down, then you can take this front shorter. Alright, so you've got to really make sure when you're talking to the client is, does she want everything in the ponytail? Also, where does she put a ponytail? Does she put a ponytail on top of her head, at the crown, or below the crown? Because that's where this front area has to be able to reach to. So if she's putting a ponytail on top of her head, then you could go a lot shorter through this front. If it's going all the way back to the nape, yeah, so then all of a sudden you can't take too much off there, okay? So again, that all comes down to customization of your client. So in this case, we're just going to tickle the ends through this front as well again. So I'm just going to literally just work a little bit of slide cutting all the way through this front. So I don't want to take too much off here. So I'm just going to angle my fingers. So I'm going to angle my finger and comb it down over the, so it's going to come over one other eye. So I'm just going to work on this one side, comb it down. I'm going to keep it way below the chin. Yeah, so she's not having face framing where it's really short, it's just giving it a little bit of shape, and then I'm just going to bend my finger, and then I'm just going to open and close my blade like so. Okay, and then to give it a little bit more softness, just through there, just going to go back through, and then I'm just going to break it up a little bit, just in those darker areas. And then I'll do exactly the same now on this side. So I've got a short piece there. That's going to be my guideline. And then we're just going to comb it down. And then I'm just going to bend my finger. Wow, is everything going on today? So we're downtown. It's busy. Deep point cutting, just through there, just to break it up. This is so now, so what clients want, yeah? You know, you look at this shape and you think, there's not many clients who will leave the salon and say, I hate it, or I don't want that, that's a weird haircut you just cut this morning, it's so different, it's not what I really like, you know. So this is definitely a haircut that you can work every day behind the chair. You don't have to do, you know, you don't have to really sell hard on this one, you know, this is really salon friendly. Okay, so just to break it down guys, this is mega simple, alright. We just got requested over the weekend because we said, look, we'll come up with this do 3 haircuts in 3 days. So we started with a long one. Tomorrow we'll go a bit shorter, and then on Wednesday we'll go shorter again. All right. So if you can tune in on Tuesday and Wednesday, it'd be great. We obviously want to share our love and say thank you to everybody for supporting us in this crazy year of 2020. But today's haircut was really kind of designed for people who do a lot of long hair clients. Alright, so I know some people who are watching, you might be like, you know what, I don't do many long hair clients, I do a lot of bobs and pixies and men's. That's fine, we can go into that over the next few days. But today's kind of focus was really kind of like, if you're a colourist, and no disrespect to any haircutters out there, but you maybe do a lot more colour than cutting, and your client base is longer hair clients, and you do a lot of ombres and long hair, or you're a blonde specialist, and you love blow drying and you love to do all that glamour kind of Hollywood blow dries, then all of a sudden that's what we kind of focused on today. Alright, so it's kind of like introducing a layering pattern for long hair and then maintaining maximum length. So we did a dry haircut, okay, so if you're just tuning in, it's just we did a dry haircut, and we sectioned from centre parting, a radial from the crown to the ear. So what's happened really then, you split the hair into 4 boxes. Centre, crown to ear, clip, 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 clip. So you've got 4 boxes. Okay? Then we go into the back area. We start right in the centre of the back. Yeah? And we elevated 90 from the head. Using the outline, our perimeter as our best friend. A perimeter as our best friend, and we went from shorter to longer, so we don't create any corners. We rotated, so pivoting around the crown, following the head shape. The head is round, we're following the head shape, everything out on the base at 90. We didn't want to layer the front too much. Alright, so then the front, we worked with diagonal forwards, and we over-directed, and we pulled the hair back away from the face. Everything was travelling away from the face, so it was going longer and longer and heavier towards the face. So some of you might have called this a transient haircut, some of you would call this a triangle layer. Okay, for me, I call it more of a versatile, seamless layer. Alright, so you can't see the layer starting or finishing. Then once you've done that, we customised a little bit, and then we literally just tidied up the perimeter. And then we just did a little bit of phrase framing by slide cutting through the front, and then a little bit of point cutting and customization. But as you can see, just being left like that, how beautiful it is for any kind of client in a chair. Any long haired client will love this. It's really commercial, really salon friendly. Alright, if you missed the whole haircut, we'll post it on Facebook and Instagram so you can watch it and see the actual step-by-step of the haircut. But as you can see, I'm educating today. I've taken my time through it, and it's taken me less than 30 minutes to do this haircut. So can you imagine behind the chair, you're not going into detail, I'm not doing a video, yet this haircut could be done in literally 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So, the colour is going to take longer, your blow dry is going to take longer, but then you could literally just tidy up this haircut in like 15-20 minutes. And it's a great add-on to a colour service. So you've obviously paid for the balayage or the ombre, you paid for the treatments, you paid for the blow dry, and then 15 minutes, you've added on a little haircut as well. Alright, so it's another bonus to your bill. Alright, so thanks for tuning in, guys. We hope you've enjoyed it. We used our 7-inch scissors today. Alright, tomorrow we might use the 6.25s. Some people have reached out and said, I need some new scissors. Alright, so if somebody needs some new scissors, reach out to us or we'll answer your thing. We have the 7s, which are the really good customizing scissors, and then we have our orange edge comb. These are all in our Black Friday sale this week. So if you are looking for a new scissor, just reach out to us and we'll give you the access code to our website, and you can look and get part of the Black Friday sale. But for now, have a lovely Monday, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you tomorrow for some more hair cutting. Thanks guys for tuning in.